I am resident of Collinwood for YouTube. Joel Sands, that is E.D Lewis. We're here to talk Dark Shadows 1995 storyline, the storyline of the future of Doom. Uh, I have a question for you right off the bat. So, did it feel like George A. Romero was writing and directing Dark Shadows at this point? Because it did for me.
I've never really thought of that, but I mean, especially with the whole, though it comes a little bit later with the zombies attacking Collinwood. Yeah, I can see that. So, yeah,
Here's the thing, too. Like, when you watch Romero and Carpenter, because they were friends, like they did a Doom is imminent. Doom's gonna happen no matter what, right?
mm,
They're famous for that. People we talk about how Romero's famous for his zombies, Carpenter's famous for slasher, all sorts of stuff, sci-fi. But really they should be more known for their Doom trilogy. As my dog's gonna go off again. Their Doom trilogy because Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead. For Carpenter, it was Prince of Darkness,
mm.
uh, Mouth Mouth of Badness, and I forget the other one. But this here, it, it felt like doom is imminent no matter what. That's like I call these the 9 episodes of terror because we never saw Dark Shadows quite like this, where
No.
for those who have never seen this little storyline here that leads into a whole other thing of craziness. So Dr. Julia Hoffman and our buddy Barnabas, who yes is still a vampire, is coming from 1970 parallel time, and you think, okay, they're just coming into their own timeline. They are, but they're coming to the future, and things look so awful. Cy Thomasoff, I wonder how he felt about literally destroying a set. That had to be fun for him. Uh, but what did you think when you first saw this? A destroyed Collinwood, if you will.
It definitely shocking, and yeah, I kind of wonder how Cy Thomasoff felt about this, having to have the set wrecked. But yeah, it was quite shocking because I figured like probably everybody else that they were going to be coming back to just everyday life and not
Yeah.
the disaster that had happened.
It looks it looks so eerie too, because
Mm,
it's not just the set like itself, it's the emptiness of it. There's nobody there to explain to them what happened. There's no people. It's just like here's your chaotic moment here. Here's your because by this time, Collinwood had sort of been our world that we kind of ceased going to the blue whale, if you will. We know this place is our own, just our own little mini world, and now that's taken away. What are your thoughts on that? That do you think they knew? Okay, this is what we're going to do, in your opinion, and we're going to get this is going to terrify some people. We're going to have some fun with this, in your opinion.
um, yeah, I kind of think that they probably thought that. It does lead me to wonder, just like with any time when they're getting ready to change timelines, how much of a plan was in place though?
Yeah,
Because we're always given so many details, and some of those details don't pan out, and some of them do.
yeah.
So it does make me wonder if they knew fully where this was going to end up. And I do agree. Yeah, I figured that this would scare people, especially going into so far into the future, 25 years, and showing all the devastation and how the few characters that are still around have changed so much.
Yeah, to Edie's point, and I love what you just said because you're right. I don't think they had a full on envision of what they wanted to do with every
Mm,
character, but at least for some of it, because when we meet Roxanne Drew's a great example of this because she's a myth. For those who don't know, Roxanne Drew was a vampire, a mysterious. We didn't know when they introduced her in. when they when Barnabas and Julia get back to 1970, uh, I feel like I'm talking Back to the Future. uh, they get back and there's a mysterious vampire, and come to find out this is Roxanne Drew, and she seems to have some sort of weird connection to the ghost of, whatever you want to call Judah Zachary, if you will. They meet and their eyes lock. It's like, okay, what's going on here? But then later they changed this to Barnabas, that Barnabas made her a vampire, and which I found odd because it's like, well, if Barnabas made her a vampire, why didn't he like be able to track her down the way he did Dirk Wilkins?
Mm.
You know what I mean? What was the difference? So I don't feel they had. I agree with you. I don't feel they had a full on plan. I think they had an idea of somewhat, but for this here, for these 9 episodes, it's the creepiest damn thing because we don't know what's happening, and we when they get it, everybody's. It feels like Victoria 2.0. Everybody's telling them to get the hell out of Dodge. Yeah, yeah. Barnabas and Julia, they're not going to listen to that. But we first meet an older Carol. We meet Carolyn. We meet Mrs. Johnson, but Carolyn is very old. So this is the future, which I like what they did with the makeup here with Mrs. Johnson and Carolyn. Now, Stokes is another matter. I love what they did with Stokes. What did you think of the makeup here? The older Carolyn makeup, if you will.
I always thought that she looked older than she probably should, but with the trauma that she's dealt with,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it makes sense that she would look so aged, even just for a 25-year difference.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I love what they did with Mrs. Johnson and Stokes' makeup as well.
What's crazy about 1995? There's going to be a lot of killing here. some bodies are going to drop, and you might say it's Dark Shadow. Shouldn't bodies drop? Yes, they seem to follow Barnabas everywhere. Uh, Death, that is. At this point, he's just collecting rent off Barnabas. It's just like I'm just keep paying it. So that's the one of the most shocking things too. When you go to the cemetery, you see the tombstone of David Collins. What did you make of that when you first saw that?
Um, since it'd been so long since I'd seen, I would assume that I probably didn't believe it, or maybe it was, you know, false. Maybe that he was actually still alive somehow. I wasn't really sure what to make of it when I first saw it. I'm sure.
Yeah, it's when I first because I'm crazy. I go back and watch these. What's insane about this is when they see it, it's so like, wait, what? David, really? Like, because by this point, David is far from the child of Satan, if you will, that we love to know him as, right? He's not quite that kid anymore. But you kind of feel sorry, like, what happened to David? You're asking all these questions. And Mrs. Johnson is just beside herself. She's like, when they kill off Mrs. Johnson in this whole thing, that's where I knew, okay, we're in some trouble now.
Mm.
When you start killing off, like, because again, before you get to Carolyn, before they kill off, they kill the characters, but again, they're going to go back in time. It's like, wait a second, is this the end of Dark Shadow? It was sort of. Did it feel like that to you in a sense?
It felt like things got real there, especially
Yeah,
when Mrs. Johnson gets it, and then they all start dropping after that.
yeah. It's weird because it's really weird because like we've seen the ghost of Quentin, right?
Mm.
This is the ghost of Judah Zachary, but for now, Gerard Stiles. James Storm, great actor, is going to play Gerard Stiles. or the ghost to Gerard Styles, if you will. So, and surprise, surprise, Julia falls in love with gets basically falls in love with a ghost. That woman would fall in love with anybody who gave her attention. She's been begging for attention for Barnabas for years, and he just hasn't given her any at all. But what did you make of Julia's possession here? Basically, she's just getting possessed.
It was different from all the other ones we've seen because she, especially when she starts spouting out the kind of the doom and gloom bits, like there's one part where they're in the drawing room of the old house, and Barnabas is talking about I don't remember what he was talking about exactly, and she's like, "And you never will. Nobody
Yeah,
ever can stop him." And he's like, "What did you say?" And she's like, "Oh, I didn't say anything. No, nothing."
yeah. He wants to stop this ghost, this entity. Like, what's going on? Like you're saying, and he's like, you never will, because by that time she's been possessed by the ghost. He's kind of turned her, but she's not. She's willing, and she's like, once she betrays Barnabas, she's like, what you made me do. She's all upset about it,
Mhm.
and it's like, lady, you just sold him down the river. What do you mean you're upset about it? Come on. Um, because before all that, I know I'm jumping ahead, so I apologize. I'm jumping around, but before all that, we do meet a sheriff who seemingly knew Carolyn when she was very young. I'd say probably when the show first. I gather they hint when the show like first started. You know what I mean? Like when she was like
Mhm.
16, 17. Now we've never seen this guy, but it doesn't mean he hasn't been around. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Um, he he's also telling, hey, leave it alone. Just don't bother up there. Just leave it all alone. Leave Carolyn alone, because Carolyn goes to the sheriff actually. So she tries to stop him the legal way, if you will, which the law has been. How do I put this? The law has been less effective than the law enforcement in Haddonfield. In Dutch shows, that is. Unless they're shooting somebody, then they're really effective. Ask Willie Loomis and all the holes that went into him. So, what did you make of this, Carolyn? Carolyn quite doesn't want them to interfere, but then she also later on helps them too. They kind of convince her to do the right thing. What did you make of this? Just this, I don't know, character craziness, because the writers are psychologically, this is really deep.
Woman in fear for
Yes.
sure. Um, and kind of slipping between between times. I'm not sure I want to say that, but
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, I agree with you. That's a great no. You're right, because she's like trying to. She's a call. She says about Emma Collins. She says
Mhm.
about her mom. Like it does feel like she's slipping between the past, like her mind is anyway, the past and what now is, what 1995 is. Sorry for this. I get what I'm saying, but I agree with you too, in a sense, because it's like she's she's Emma Collins, and when she pulls out the portrait of Barnabas, he's like, you've been here. He's like, I've been here since the beginning. It's like, well, I guess I'll let it. Yeah, okay. But yeah, it's like, and then Mrs. Johnson talks to her. You have the real shocker. This is Quentin being in Wincliffe too.
Mhm.
There's a lot of shocking elements in this. Quentin's in Wincliffe. He escapes, and he all but puts a knife through his own portrait. Like he's gonna stab. Like he's gonna. I forget whether it's a knife or not, but he's gonna stab his own portrait. Carolyn's a bit crazy, a bit mad. Quentin's lost it completely. Stokes has failed at an exorcism. What did you make of all this?
I I mean, we've seen all these characters for the most part been vulnerable before, but this was their most vulnerable and
Yeah.
very much at their lowest of lows. Especially, I mean, even with all the terrible things Quentin has done, he's always been rather gleeful or regretful about it, and he's lost it. And begging for this this woman that they've never seen, they don't know who she is, Daphne, to come back to him. Stokes even telling them just leave it all alone. It's not worth it. Just get out of town. And especially him being such a champion for them many times over. This was so unlike him.
It's really crazy too that they, like you said, Stokes being not the champion anymore, but he was, like you said, he was one once for them. Like he literally confronted Angelique in the Dream Girls. This dude has had no fear of those things. But now you see he is afraid, right? He's scared not only for not so much for himself, but for them, for
Mhm.
how he feels they're in danger. And we kind of realized real fast, okay, yeah, they are. This ghost is not quite like Quentin's ghost. He's not just possessing kids. He's after everybody. What did you make of that?
Uh, Stark contrast from how Quentin was, since yeah, like you said that he was going after everybody. And Quentin only, targeted the kids. But this time, he's even going after Julia. He puts
Yeah,
her under, his thrall immediately, and complete utter evil.
yeah,
Not even kind of that charmingness that Quentin's ghost even had, and kind of had that kind of jovial feel. He's just standing there sneering, and it's just evil.
yeah.
He could almost
I
have the blackest eyes in a way.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with you. Sort of Michael-esque, if you will. And you're right. He's not this because when Quentin's ghost, it's like okay, he's only going after two kids, and their lives are at stake. But he's driven everybody out of Collinwood. This dude, this dude has not only driven everybody out, he's actually killed people. We did David. We're going to see Carolyn get killed. Carolyn, when they find the playroom, if you will, the kids' playroom, which we're going to learn in 1970 isn't there, but it's here now, and that's where Carolyn's body is. It's just laying there, and the sheriff's all pissed off at part of us and Julia. Uh, what did you make of the playroom and Carolyn's body just being it's there? This is what this ghost has done now.
The playroom was really cool. I thought it was a cool
Yeah,
concept, that a room that never existed before, and seemingly I seem to remember later in the show when they get back to 1970, them looking at the floor plans and not finding something. I could be remembering wrong. It's been quite a while since I watched those. Um, well, Carolyn, when they walk in, she's just so stiff. You're like you had that full feeling of doom that, oh,
yeah,
she's gone.
yeah. You're right. They have like the plans of Collinwood they're looking over, and they can't. I think when they open the door, it's like a initially it's a closet. I think if I'm
Hmm.
remembering correctly. Again, I'm old, so please, if I'm wrong, please correct me. Anybody, again, please correct me. But I think it's a closet when they first like it's a coat closet or something, an old coat. But the next time you see this, it's like look because I think it's Quentin. Like, look, there's no playroom. And he's not wrong at the time. There's not, but it's like the ghost of Judah Zack. I'm gonna go back. I feel like I'm in the movie Chinatown, so I'm gonna say yes. Judah Zachary slash Gerard Stiles here. That it manifests itself, which was not quite the West, like the West Wing. Quentin's room doesn't manifest itself; it's discovered by two kids.
Mm.
You know, what did you think of it? This room literally manifests itself.
It was definitely different. Not unlike the parallel time room,
Yeah.
but not the same at the similar, similar
Mhm.
in that they can appear and disappear, except for, of course, with the parallel time room, it just becomes an empty room, whereas the playroom just completely vanishes and there's nothing there but a closet.
We're gonna learn here, so I'm not confusing everybody the hell who's never seen this. Um, the playroom itself is from another time. It's from 1840, if you will, which is really interesting. So though, because what really 1995 is the beginning, in a sense, of the 1840 storyline. What did you make of it? Because this is one. This isn't just a storyline. This is one hell of a long arc.
Um, I was shocked about these episodes, that they were did such a short time jump, but it was a nice preamble to get us into the coming of the destruction of Collinwood.
Yeah.
Um, which I wish the 1840 had been a little bit longer, though.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, from a whole standpoint of, like you said, length, 1840 by itself is not long.
Mm-mm.
But when you do 1995, 1970, and then you get to 1840, it's like, yeah, yeah, this is pretty long. Like the all E.D's right, and I agree with you. 1840, not long, but 95, 1970, 1840, it being one whole thing, it is long like crazy. You know what I mean? It's like, holy shit, they started this here. And I want to get your thoughts a little bit on 1840 because they basically ended this with Angelique saves the day, right? She's our hero. What did you make of Angelique going full baby face? Sorry if my dog's barking here.
Um, Not unlike her since she's such a layered character, but also somewhat uh something we haven't seen from her before. I mean, we've seen her come up against, Laura
Yeah,
and Count Tofi and even Nicholas Blair and the Leviathans, but we've never seen her just willingly completely sacrifice herself and just, the ultimate sacrifice.
yeah. They actually in 1995 they do get Stokes to conduct like want to conduct a séance. He gets killed or Stokes gets killed. So if you're counting at home, you got Carolyn, she gets killed. Mrs. Johnson gets killed. Uh, Professor Stokes gets killed, and all in 1995. And yes, David is gone. And that's another weird part too. When they go to the playroom in 1995, when they look at it and they see a kid, they think it's David, and Quentin's telling them, no, it's Tad. That's Tad. Consider what we're going to find out later. What did you make of
Who the hell is Tad? Is my first thought
that?
that I had. I'm like, okay, that's
Yeah,
that's clearly David. Who's Tad?
right. And then I agree with you because it's like when you find out who Tad is. Well, spoiler alert for those who've never seen 1840. When you get to 1840, you get told that Quentin and Tad are dead. Which it's like, wait, what? Already? Um, but they're not. They they are actually. Even Quentin says when we meet 18 to 40 Quentin, he says, "Yeah, I thought we were gone too." So Gerard Stiles was on the same boat as Quentin and Ted, and surprise, surprise, uh, Gerard Stiles is a close personal friend of Quentin. Why am I not surprised? This man can make friends with a broom. Um, right? He really could. But he actually comes back when Gerard and Quentin's wife get married. And yes, you heard that correctly. Uh, I'm not making that up at all. Uh, but were you shocked to find out? Okay, had at first they're dead. No, they're not dead. They're alive and well. What did you make of that craziness?
I figured they had to have been alive because I mean, especially with the kids in 1970 becoming possessed by them, I was like, they've got to be still around.
Yeah,
I just didn't know when they were going to pop back up. I couldn't feature them killing off any version of Quentin at this point either. Especially this is a different Quentin than the one we're used to.
yeah,
The whole thing about Gerard, kind of slinking his way into the family
yeah,
by marrying Samantha, that actually kind of shocked me.
yeah. I agree with you. Like Virginia Vestoff, great actress, by the way. She was in 1776. If you've ever seen it, go watch it. Great musical. Uh, but you're right. He slinks his way into the family. But here, the crazy part is when Quentin returns, it's like he immediately chooses Quentin over her. Before he gets possessed by the head of Judah Zachary, he's all like, "No, Quentin's my homie. We're good." We're like, "Nah." Like, but what did you make of Gerard's like? Now you know what, Samantha, I love you, but me and Quentin, we're boys. No, no thanks.
Quite a turn of face.
it's it's like, man, Quentin really. At first, I'm thinking, man, Quentin's got some influence. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But for that was pretty. Here's my question for you for 1995. What did you make of the entire thing? I mean, from a from where Dark Shadows started to where Dark Shadows would go from here. From here, what did you make of this whole storyline here?
Probably the most grim the show ever got.
Yeah,
And I mean, it did get pretty grim, but I think this was the most grim the show had ever gotten, and um, probably ever could have gotten, at least at the time.
like Dark Shadows prepares you for little things, and then it drops it like gut punches you hard. Like Quentin, when you get told Quentin's kids are dead, when one of his kids died in 1897, and we touched upon that. Okay, that's shocking, right? But this, David's dead. We don't know where Elizabeth and Morocco are. They're not dead, but they're somewhere. They're not there. They're not in Collinwood anymore. I mean, something drove Liz and Roger completely out of the damn away, and then you start seeing bodies drop yourself, and the sheriff. By the way, the ghost of Daphne is really good in 1995 too. I don't want to forget about her,
Mm.
but I agree with you. It's very grim. This is I agree with you 1,000. The grimmest this show got is this. It felt like, in a way, it felt like the world was ending.
Mm.
But what did you make? Because by the way, Daphne, I think it's the ghost of Daphne. It's a ghost of Daphne, or somebody saves Barnabas from being staked by the sheriff, being murdered by the sheriff, if you will. So, what did you make of we get the ghost of Daphne, the ghost of there's another ghost too, I think. No, the
Carrie.
Carrie, yeah, Carrie also as well. What did you make of the different ghosts we got here?
They were all surprisingly silent.
Yes.
I mean, which we did get, of course, with Quentin and Beth, but like literally all of them are silent. I think it was Carrie that saved Barnabas um
Yeah, I think you're right.
from the sheriff. But yeah, like none of them even, spoke a word. And of course, Carrie, she was a fresh face to the show, just like the two adult ghosts.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was Terry. Thank you. I'm scrambled. Um, there's, but that's the thing too. Like Harry Steak, I actually prefer the Carrie Stokes, if you will, or the other Stokes of 1841 parallel
Mm.
because I feel they gave her a really bad, not the ghost. They didn't give the ghost a bad introduction. No, they've never given a ghost a bad introduction. Even when the ghosts are villains, they've given them great introductions. But the living character, and I get why they do this because she doesn't know him. She doesn't know Barnabas and Julie. Who are you? Who are? It's like, why are you shouting at these people? They're not deaf. Like, they can hear you. I I do wish they would have sort of reshot that differently. That's my
Mm.
one nitpick about this. I haven't read that one. No, that's all right. I have two big nitpicks. That's one, and obviously Roxanne not being a part of Judah Zachary's cult is the other.
Mm.
So that's my two nitpicks. You have any?
Um, I have to agree with both of those. It would make way more sense with the whole Roxanne thing.
Yeah.
Um, because I mean, she before Barnabas and them go back, she had to have become a vampire some other way, but that completely recontextualizes everything.
Yeah.
Um, the Mordecai Grimes thing, I kind of have a little bit of issue with. I feel
Okay.
like he should have been in it more.
Yeah. 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 I could see that. That was well. Here's the thing too. Like we hear so many like different things about different characters, lately. Even characters that don't necessarily get a name mentioned. Like when we, like when Humbert Allen Ostrager's character d- comes in as the lawyer, and he's a member of the cult. It's like, and Judah Zachary, Gerard Stiles is asking about the other members. Oh, they're around. They're somewhere. They're just not present. It's like, wait, what? Like, no, you gotta. Can you at least show some of them? Because, and this is what I mean by Roxanne and like Angelique, if you will. You pick up a dog. Sorry, but no, that's what I mean too. Like if Roxanne, like you said, and I agree with you because it's like if Roxanne was a vampire before Barnabas, it's like you had Angelique, Miranda Duvall, if you will. Miranda, she said she witnessed something, right? She witnessed something that terrified her. That's why she testified against this man. What if she witnessed Roxanne becoming a vampire? What if that's the thing
Hmm.
that terrified her? It's how she knows what Barnabas is later on. It's why she knows what she did, how her curse worked, right?
Hmm.
It would explain everything about Angelique herself. But no, the writers don't go that route, which that's what shocked me most. But I agree with you. Like, there's just, it's like, okay, I'll give you one too. Like, Joan, uh, John Carlin's character in 1840, I love to death. I love that character he plays. But you know that Quentin, every version of Quentin has had an obsession with the occult, right? Has had some tiny obsession. And it's like, okay, I can buy that. But now John Carlin's character also has a bit of an obsession because when he hears Quentin's dead, he keeps the head of Judah Zachary for himself. It's like, wait, what? And his and Flora, Joe's character, is like, no, that head's got to go. That there was it's sad, but it's funny at the same time.
Mm.
But I was always perplexed by that. It's like, okay, I get every version of Quentin has an occult obsession or a cult like obsession. But why does John Carlin's character? Well, I get he's a Collins, but where does his obsession start? It never really gets into that. You know what I mean? At least that I can remember that it doesn't get into
I don't remember getting into it either.
it. Okay, I'm not alone in that. Oh my gosh! Did you have favorite scenes from 1995?
I would say probably the finding of Carolyn's body at
Oh,
Collinwood. That scene where Julia walks into the playroom and then is trapped by Judah Zachary,
yeah.
and also when they find Mrs. Johnson and she links after she's dead.
Because here's a fun thing too. If you go back and watch Halloween 2, the original Halloween 2, Annie Brackett, you can see she's breathing just a bit. Like you could see
Hmm.
Nancy Loomis's breathing just a bit, like her eyes blinker. It's a real, you got to catch it. It's real fast. And hey, Dana
Hmm.
Carvey makes an appearance in that movie when he's really young. Um, so he's like the cameraman or something, or he's one of the people the newswoman's talking to. She's like, go see if you can talk to the parents or whatever, get permission. He's in the hat or whatever. That's funny.
Huh.
Um, um, so yeah, my favorite scenes is them discovering David's headstone. It's creepy. Seeing Stokes's makeup, I thought
Hmm.
it fit how just gloom it really was. If if the destroyed set didn't do it for anybody, Stokes's makeup will, because he looks so beat down. He looks so not just old, but wore down by whatever happened. And it's so good. It's one of the best makeup jobs DS ever does, and that's saying something. Uh, but yeah, that's some of my that and James Storm's performance overall of the character.
Hmm.
I think he just does a phenomenal job going from heel to kind of likable character that because Gerard Styles, Ivan Miller, whatever you call him, he's a very unique character that they touch upon enough of at least to get you interested in, and James Storm takes care of the rest. Um, really great job, and I did love the fact that we get okay. Angelique has a deeper backstory than just Barnabas.
Hmm.
Uh, I know that's not 1995, but overall, 1840, with all three of the craziness here, um, just it's a wild story. By the way, loved your review of the graphic novel. Um,
Oh, thank you.
very, very interesting novel. So, but yeah, is there anything you want to add before we get on out of here?
Um, Not really. I definitely like the shortest, the 1995 being the shortest storyline that we've seen in all of Dark Shadows for sure.
Yeah,
Uh,
it definitely is. Um, I'd love to bring you back. Is next Sunday good, or are you busy? Or
yeah, I can come back next Sunday.
okay, we're gonna talk one of my favorite storylines. It's the kidnapping of Maggie Evans. And yes, I'm going to defend Barnabas to the death.
Hmm.
ED might not defend him. I will. I'll let ED play prosecutor on me a little bit there, but we're gonna have some fun with that one. Yeah, I think you'll get a kick out of it. But yeah, it's a fun storyline. And hey, the ghost of Sarah Collins. I get
Hmm.
to talk about her. But link to ED's channel is going to be in the description box. Go give us some subscriptions. Go check out his newest review. Follow him on Instagram. Hey, man, take care, and I'll see you next Sunday.
Oh, you too, and thank you.
You're welcome. Bye bye, man.